Hello, welcome to our class number 15. Today we are going to continue our studies on the present perfect. Okay, so this is present perfect 2. Let's begin by reviewing what we saw last class. Okay, follow me please. Last class we saw that we can use the present perfect to talk about past events which have a connection to the present. Remember? So we presented the example, Gina has lost her keys, and we saw that in this case she lost her keys in the past, but she still doesn't have them. She still doesn't have her keys. The keys are still lost, okay? So that's the connection to the present. Another way of using the present perfect was to ask about a period of time. Remember, so have you ever, usually we use this expression, have you ever, to ask if you did or didn't do something during your whole life. Okay, so the period selected is the period of a lifetime. For example, I have never been to Cuba, so considering my whole life, I never went to Cuba, so I have never been to Cuba. So we usually, when we ask a question, we use the expression ever, right? So have you ever eaten Mexican food? Or have you eaten Mexican food considering the period of your whole life? Okay, so that's the meaning of this ever, right? And you can answer, if the answer is affirmative, you can say, I have already eaten Mexican food, or if the answer is negative, you say, I have never eaten Mexican food, alright? Now, today we are going to see a few more occasions in which we can use the present perfect. For example, use the present perfect with already to say something happened sooner than expected. Okay, let's see an example. I've already cleaned the house. So, I cleaned the house before expected. For example, maybe my mother or my wife expected me to clean the house today, but later, right? Tonight or during the afternoon. But when she comes at home, let's say around noon, I can say, well, I have already cleaned the house. So, wow, she didn't expect that to happen so soon. She expected it to happen much later or a little later. Okay? So that's another usage for the expression already. Okay? Now, there is a contraction when we use the verb have or has as the auxiliary verb. Okay? So every time we have or has, we can contract it with the subject pronoun. For example, I have equals I've. You have you've. He has his. She has she's. It has its. We have we've. You have you've. They have they've. Okay? So it's okay. It's normal. Sometimes people confuse his. Is it he is or he has? Okay, so but it's very simple actually, because we use the present perfect with the auxiliary verb have. Okay, so you're gonna see that in practice there are no big confusions here. Okay, so it's easy to identify when this apostrophe s here means the verb to be or the verb to have. Okay, remember the verb to have can only be the auxiliary verb for the perfect tenses, okay? We're going to see some more perfect tenses later, but for now, we only use the verb to have when we are using the present perfect, okay? Now, another way of using the present perfect is with just. We use the present perfect with just to say something happened a short time ago. Example, she has just arrived, so she was not here, but she arrived a very short time ago, right now, so she has just arrived. Okay, she arrived a short time ago. And remember what we saw last class. We can never use the present perfect when we are going to specify when something happened in the past. Okay, so do not use the present perfect to say when something happened. Okay, in this case, use the simple past. Example, Gina lost her keys last week. So pay attention here. Last week is a point in time. Okay, so now you know when it happened. When did Gina lose her keys? She lost her keys last week. So in this case that I am specifying when something happened, I cannot use she has lost, okay? I use simple past lost, not she has lost, okay? Another example. I cleaned it this morning. Remember, we saw I cleaned the house. I used the example, I have already cleaned the house. So, I have already cleaned the house, but I didn't specify when. But in this case here, look, this morning. This is a specific point in time. So, I use simple past cleaned, not have cleaned, okay? So, do not use have cleaned in this situation. She arrived 2 hours ago. Same thing, remember? I used the example, she has just arrived, but I didn't say when. We know it was a short time ago, but I didn't specify the moment. But now I say, she arrived 2 hours ago. This is a specific time, so simple past, okay? Not she has arrived, which would be the present perfect. Okay, let's practice then. So, let's see here the main verb here. Let's conjugate the verb in the present perfect and then turn the sentences into questions or interrogatives and negatives, okay? Now, met a new job. We are going to use the verb find, to find. So, what is the auxiliary verb? The auxiliary verb, the verb to have. So, met has, right? Normal conjugation of the verb to have for the simple present. Met has. Now, the verb is the verb to find. So, if you don't know, this is not a regular verb. To find is an irregular verb. So, the past participle of find, you can find it on our list, right? Which you can download on my website, okay? So, Matt has found a new job, okay? Matt has found a new job. So, found is the past participle of the verb to find. Now, how to ask questions using the present perfect? Remember last class? The auxiliary verb now is the verb to have. So, we just have to place the auxiliary verb before the subject, so in order to turn this sentence into a question. Example, has Matt found a new job? Has Matt found a new job? We could also use here the expression yet. Has Matt found a new job yet? Okay. I know he was looking for a new job. Has he found a new job yet? Okay. And the negative, same thing. So we have here the auxiliary verb, just add not to the auxiliary verb. So Matt hasn't found a new job. Matt hasn't found a new job yet. Okay? He hasn't found one yet. Another example, they, what is the conjugation of the verb, the auxiliary verb? They have. And what is the the past participle of the verb to bring? Bring, brought, brought. Okay, bring, brought, brought. So they have brought the presents. They have brought the presents. Question. Have they brought the presents? Have they brought the presents? And negative, they haven't brought the presents. Okay, they haven't brought the presents yet. Okay? Now, the same. Pay attention now. I asked Bill to wash the dishes later. Okay, so I asked him, to do the dishes later, to wash the dishes later. But he has. What is the expression we use to say that something happened sooner than expected, before expected? We use the expression already, right? So, I asked Bill to wash the dishes later, but he has already Wash is a regular verb, so washed, okay? He has already washed them, okay? Now, would you like something to eat? Now, I want you to answer this question with in the negative, so no, and to say that you had dinner a short time ago. How to do that? So, would you like something to eat? No, thanks. I have just had dinner. I have just had dinner. Or, if we wanted to use a contraction, no thanks, I've just had dinner. I've just had dinner. Okay? So that was it for today. I hope now it is clearer how to use the present perfect. It is a very important verbal tense. It's easy to make mistakes using the present perfect because many times we can use both or either the present perfect or the simple past, okay? So remember the difference. Never use the present perfect when you specify when something happened in the past, okay? Next class then, I'm going to correct our list of exercises number 4. You can already go to my website and download the list, solve the questions, and next class I'm going to correct them with you, okay? Thank you very much for watching. See you next class.